It's Tuesday, May 14. This is the news on PBCJ. I'm Carol Francis. Chairman of the Integrity Commission, retired Justice Carl Harrison, says Jamaicans can expect a paradigm shift in how the anti-corruption organization operates. Speaking at a press conference at the Planning Institute of Jamaica, Justice Harrison said, quote, "It is the vision of the current governance and management apparatus to transform the Integrity Commission into a robust anti-corruption agency," end quote. He noted that focus will be placed on anti-corruption risk management strategies, increasing the confidence of the general public in the government procurement system through public education, transparency and confidence in reporting, and increased effectiveness and operational efficiency through strategic partnerships and technological solutions. The entity has been in operation since February 2018. While it has publicly rejected aspects of the contentious report on the sale of the rooms on the beach property drafted by former Contractor General Derek Harrison, the Integrity Commission still has full confidence in the nation's corruption watchdog agency. The sale of the St. Anne-based property for just over $6 million, less than the $13.5 million valuation, was investigated by the then Harrison-led Office of the Contractor General. Last month, Harrison's report, which was critical of Cabinet Minister Darrell Vaz for his alleged interference in the sale, was submitted to Parliament. Speaking on behalf of the other four commissioners, the chairman, retired Justice Carl Harrison, said the findings in some instances were, quote, "not supported by the evidence," end quote. The OCG was last year subsumed into the Integrity Commission, and Harrison appointed acting director of corruption prosecutions. The St. James Health Department will embark on a new vector control program on June 3, which will include the prosecution of persons who refuse to destroy mosquito breeding sites. In an interview with JIS, Chief Public Health Inspector for St. James, Lennox Wallace, said the program will also include boosting the number of vector control personnel deployed to communities to 60. This is in a bid to assist in eradicating mosquito breeding sites, thus preventing the spread of mosquito-borne illnesses. Additional equipment will also be provided. According to Mr. Wallace, the program will consist of a public education component where persons will be encouraged to take personal responsibility in the fight against the transmission of vector-borne diseases. Mr. Wallace said the program ends in October. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the government will respond to the long waits for certain surgeries, diagnostic tests, and bed space shortages by allocating $1 billion Jamaican dollars for an immediate and extraordinary intervention in these cases.
Mr. Speaker, it is impatient of debate. Take a constituent with a hemorrhoid problem, hernia problem. It's not going to kill them, but it places that citizen of this country in so much pain. There's downtime from work. Take a mother or a sister or a daughter with fibroids every month, excessive bleeding, missing work time, pain, suffering. Mr. Speaker, we would be an uncaring government if we did not find a way to respond to this very difficult situation that so many Jamaicans. And those who are poorest are the ones who suffer the most. Because when you go to a hospital and they say the CT scan is down, but you need the test, they give you a piece of paper that says what kind of test you must do. And they say go down to the private place down the road. And you go down there, is at $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. How many people can afford that? A large percentage. And yes, sometimes the MP have to step in, or some good Samaritan have to step in. Mr. Speaker, this approach, and we must be prepared to accept it, makes a mockery of the free healthcare process. We must work towards universal access, which means improving the quality of healthcare.
Dr. Tufton was making his contribution to the sectoral debate last Tuesday. There is no oil find in the island at this time. This from the Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica, PCJ. The PCJ says a 3D seismic survey in Jamaica's offshore areas by Tullow Oil plc Jamaica was conducted in April 2018. The preliminary evaluation showed signs which suggest prospective resources of as much as 200 million barrels of oil. The information is reportedly at best indicative and cannot be considered conclusive. In keeping with established oil and gas industry protocols, Tullow and the PCJ are now undertaking a detailed analysis of the data, which should be completed by the end of December. PCJ's acting general manager, Brian Ricketson, said, quote, "We are not getting ahead of ourselves by making any predictions about the presence of oil or the quantities that may be available," end quote. The US dollar on Monday, May 13, ended trading at $136.50, down by 4 cents. That's according to the Bank of Jamaica's daily foreign exchange trading summary. The Canadian dollar ended trading at $101.72, down from $100.40, while the British pound sterling ended trading at $178.06, down from $177.56. In regional news, Secretary General of the Caribbean Community CARICOM, Erin LaRocque, called on the United States to lift the unwarranted economic embargo and sanctions against Cuba. Addressing the 22nd meeting of the Council for Foreign and Community Relations, Mr. LaRocque said that next month, the 15-member grouping will host the 6th meeting of Ministers of Foreign Affairs of CARICOM and Cuba. Washington strengthened the decades-old embargo on the Caribbean island after it publicly stated its support for Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, whom the United States and several other Western countries are seeking to remove from power. Trinidad and Tobago's Finance Minister Com Imbert has sought to put to rest fears of gloom and doom in the gas industry. This after oil and gas company BPTT reported disappointing results from its infill drilling program. The finance minister was delivering the mid-year review in Parliament.
BP wells with less than satisfactory results are only 2 in number and are infill wells in existing gas fields. Unlike exploration wells, infill wells are normally brought into production almost immediately. I'm advised that one of these infill wells will go into production shortly, although at lower volumes than anticipated, leaving just one unproductive well. All of this drama, therefore, is totally unnecessary. It should be noted, Madam Speaker, and this is fact as opposed to fiction, in February 2019, just 3 months ago, gas production almost reached 4 billion standard cubic feet per day, the highest production since March 2015. Accordingly, Madam Speaker, notwithstanding recent events, the Ministry of Energy, after consultation with the major oil and gas companies, has advised that gas production is still expected to average 3.8 billion cubic feet per day in 2018.
Meanwhile, opposition leader Kamala Prasad-Bisesa said she was disappointed with the finance minister's presentation.
I'm here today with some expectation, and I'm sure that the entire population, or the majority of the population, would have had some kind of expectation in anticipation of the words of the Honourable Minister of Finance. And you know, I think what we wanted to hear, I think many people have wanted to hear, what were the plans that the government had to improve their lives, to better their lives. But instead, what we heard was more deflection, more distraction, and all kinds of numbers thrown at us. At the end of the day, Madam Speaker, what we are about on this side is about people-centered development. Yeah. And therefore, all the nice figures, whether they're real or not real, whether they match each other, whether they're taken 1 year, cherry-picked from 1 year into the next year, wherever they come from, can give no comfort to the people of Trinidad and Tobago who do not have food on their tables.
In sports, a 5-member Jamaica team left the island yesterday for Ontario, Canada to compete at the 2019 Special Olympics Invitational Youth Games. The team comprises unified partners Ariana Smith and Shantae Rose, who are both formerly of Pembroke Hall Primary School, and Special Olympics Jamaica SOJ athletes Michael Baker, Joel Williams, and Javoni Taylor. Baker is from Best Care Special Education School, while Williams and Taylor hails from the Randolph Lopez School of Hope. The youngsters are accompanied by Head of Delegation Gloria Gordon and Coach Hugh McDonald. And that's our package. Join us again tomorrow, same time, same place, for more news and sports right here on PBCJ, the People's Station.